So if you're trying to turn your God-given gifts, talents, and purpose into a structured business, this is the video for you, okay? And these are the 5 ways that you're able to do that. So number 1, you need to figure out what comes naturally to you, right? So figure out, what do people naturally come to you for, right? Do people come to you for advice? Do people come to you for encouragement? Do people come to you for, leadership skills? Like, what naturally does somebody always come to you to do? Do you make flyers? Do you make business cards? Do you make resumes? Just naturally, and people say, oh, hey, I know somebody that can do X, Y, and Z, and they always come to you for this one thing, and it's something that you love doing, it's something that you're passionate about, and it's something that you're really, really good at, right? Also identify like your gifts and your skills around that, something that feels effortlessly, right? Like, you don't have to put a whole bunch into this one particular skill or this one particular talent, right? You also want to figure out and know the difference between the gifts and the passions and the learned skills when you're trying to figure out what actually comes natural to you, right? And I always say, your passion flows into your purpose, right? Your passion are just like your strengths, the things that you like doing, right? The things that you are good at. But your purpose actually comes from God, is what God actually has you on this earth to actually do. And so they both tie in together. Another thing is, I want you to also figure out why so many people overlook their God-given abilities when it comes to your natural being, right? Because a lot of times we are literally just doing things that we love to do. We're doing all of these things. We have the skills, right? And it's just like, but I'm still called for more. Like, I still know that I still should be doing something. It's because we think, right, that what we're doing in the natural is just, us just doing it. But we haven't actually looked at it in a different lens, right? Look at it in a spiritual lens to be like, you know what? I'm actually really good at this, right? This could potentially be my gift. This could potentially be my passion. The second thing is going to be to understand that your gifts are meant to solve problems. Your gifts are not only just for you, right? You don't have gifts just to keep them to yourself. Like, you could have more than one gift. Like, I have more than one gift, but one of my gifts that I know that I have is leadership. Another one of my gifts is encouragement. And so I put those two together, but you want to understand that that's going to solve a problem. Like, yes, I can encourage myself, but I also literally can encourage other people. Not just oh yeah, that sounds nice. Like, no, literally encourage you to officially take action. Encourage you to officially take the next step, because you can listen to somebody and somebody can give you motivation. Somebody can give you encouragement, right? And it's like, oh, okay, this helped me for today. You get what I'm saying? But then you have those people who really can give encouragement and actually help change the mindset of somebody from, either looking down upon something or thinking negative, and literally change it into something positive. Allow them to switch their mindset to move, in a different direction, and then actually execute on those visions, execute on those goals, and execute on that purpose. So, and that's just an example in reference to, one of the gifts that I have. So you always want to understand that your gift is not just for you. Your gift is for somebody else, and it is going to help solve their problem, okay? Another one of my gifts is going to be leadership. So I'm very organized. I'm always in that leadership role, but I'm always serving, right? I'm always helping someone build, something. I'm always in that leadership organizational mode. It's not about being the boss. It's not about being a manager. It's literally about who you are, and are you able to serve? Are you able to handle conflict? Are you able to be that leader, literally? And so that's just one of the other gifts that I do have. So in reference to your gift solving problems, you also want to understand that business is also built around the solving problems, but it's also about creating transformation. Leadership also is about communication, creativity, right? Teaching, organization, encouragement, etc. All of those things can come from services. All of those things can come from brands, right? And you want to understand how to impact before the income comes. So you want to ensure that you are understanding that even though you do have those gifts and those talents, that you got to understand how to impact yourself so you can impact others before the actual income really comes, right? Step number 3 is going to be stop overthinking and start developing your gift, right? So the fear, the procrastination, right? The hesitation and self-doubt, that is going to keep you stuck. You have to remove that, okay? The importance of learning your gift, the importance of practicing your gift, right? The importance of literally becoming confident and becoming who you are. It all starts with you. You can't just go out, like for me, I didn't just go out and just say, oh, okay, hey, I'm just going to encourage you today. And then it's, okay, I'm good to go. Like, no, you have to literally learn that. You have to practice that. You have to understand exactly what your gift is. And if you haven't watched some of the other videos that I've done, like I said, I literally wrote down my strengths, my weaknesses, and out of the strengths and all of the things that I personally like to do and love to do and have, a passion for, out of that list, I also compared that list with what the Bible talks about in reference to the gifts and your talents to see, what overlap, right? What cross, what are the things that I personally like to do and that I know that I can do and help other people with what it says for the gifts and the talents in the Bible. And as I did those, that's how I was able to, check off some of those things in reference to finding my gift and my talents. So you also want to ensure that your clarity is going to help you with your confidence, right? Like, you have to have clarity. You also have to have confidence, because that is going to help you officially execute. That's going to help you actually take action into turning your gifts and your talents into income and into a business, right? So that's number 3. The 4th thing is going to be learn how to package your gifts into a business. And I may have to do a separate video. This is not something that's short. This is not something that's easy, right? But you have to learn how to package it into a business, right? Because you can turn your gifts into multiple things. So for instance, you can turn your gifts into coaching. You can turn your gifts into digital products. So for example, with my leadership, right? I actually am thinking about, I haven't launched it just yet, but I am actually thinking about doing like one-on-one coaching. One-on-one coaching, helping other people align themselves with their gifts and their talents, and actually help them from the ground up create a business plan surrounding that, so they actually can fully execute in their God-given purpose, in their gifts and their talents, but they also have a business aspect with that as well. So I'm thinking about doing coaching when it comes to that, but that's just an example. As far as digital products, so some of you guys have been following me, I have a digital product surrounding some of the gifts when it comes to leadership, because I have the business execution framework, right? The business execution framework is a total of 9 skills, 9 God-given skills that I believe that God has given to me, that every entrepreneur, leader, mentor, successful person needs in order to execute their God-given business, structurally, right? So that is a digital product. You can do mentorship, you can do services, you can do content. Here it is, I'm on YouTube, right? Other social media platforms, I do content. You can do different courses, right? You can have your community. So if some of you guys haven't already been into the Believe Your Vision community, I have the Believe Your Vision community on the school platform, which is basically, a group of community people where we're literally trying to understand and trying to navigate our gifts and our talents. So like I said, we can help and impact the next person, but we also can turn that into a business for ourselves as well. And so with that, that is how you can package, your business into, how you can package your gifts into a business. The last thing I want to talk about is going to be, so also ensure that the importance is you have to show up. Okay, you have to show up, whether that's social media, marketing, however it is, you have to show up, you have to talk about it, right? Because nobody's going to know what you do, who you do it for, and how you do it if you're not saying anything. And then the last thing is going to be, number 5, is going to be build from purpose, not just money. right? So you don't want to, and I kind of struggled with that one time too. It was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and only because I need money. And it's just like, that's not gonna work, right? It's just not going to work out that way. It may start off that way, but eventually in the long run, it's not going to have that impact, right, that you would want it to have. Yes, you want to turn it into a business, but like I said, it's not about the money. It's about impact. It's about serving. It's literally about helping the next person. Because everybody it was once in your shoes, right? So what better way can you take, right, the gifts that God has entrusted into you to help the next person, but also to glorify him as well. So in doing that, you want to, like I say, understand that your business has to be purpose driven. Okay, your business has to be purpose driven. So that's going to feel slightly different from just a regular 9 to 5. You also want to stay aligned when it comes to your values, your mission, and your vision. You have to figure out, what is this business going to stand for? What am I going to stand for, right? And typically, I would say when it comes to your gifts, your talents, and your business, it's typically based off of you. Like you're building your own personal brand, right? Like on all of my social media platforms is my name, Latoya Riley, B.Y.V. And B.Y.V. stands for Believe Your Vision, because that is the name of the community. That's the name of the movement. That's the name of the business that I have, that I want to demonstrate and market to men and women, to let people know you literally can do any and all things through Christ that strengthens you, but also you can do whatever it is that you want to do as long as you believe in yourself. So that's where B.Y.V. comes from. So Latoya Riley, B.Y.V. is literally on all platforms. That's a personal brand, right, for me. So you have to ensure that you stay in line, aligned with those. You want to build something meaningful, like I said, that's going to help somebody. And then, of course, you want to encourage people along the way. You also want to encourage people who also feel called to maybe do what you do. Like I said, if you're really good when it comes to Canva, right, and you're developing, PDFs and business cards and, resumes and all this stuff, somebody literally can come to you to, hey, can you develop me a business card? Can you develop me a logo? Right? Like that's I'm good at that as well, but I'm not going to say that that's not a gift that I have, because it is a gift, that I have, but I don't focus too much on that, because I know that there's other things that are like on the top of the list, right? But you want to just ensure that the things that you are doing is literally helping the next person. You're going to find your gifts and your talents when you're very passionate, right? Like when it's like, oh, I can do this. Not to say that you don't want money from it, like, because like I said, you can generate income from that. But basically, like, your gifts are going to make room for you. So you don't have to go out and beg and be like, oh, everybody who want resumes done, $50 a resume, $50 a resume. You get what I'm saying? Versus educating somebody on how to structure their resume, educate somebody on how many pages your resume could be, right? You want to educate people, and that comes along with your gifts too. Like, you also don't want to always just push for, income and push for business and push for sales, but you also want to teach. You also want to allow other people to see, like, okay, hey, what if this is something that I'm interested in myself? Like, somebody else could have, a gift similar, you get what I'm saying, to yours. It's not going to be the exact same thing. But if somebody else's strength and gift and passion is to, do resumes and stuff as well, maybe they are coming to you, right? So now you're helping them either maybe structure a resume for themselves, or maybe you're also helping them structure a resume to, help other people. Like, maybe you specifically do resumes, just for, maybe like in a particular field, right? Or maybe you just do, adults. Somebody else could do resumes, but maybe they're in the young adult field, right? Maybe they're in the children aspect. So they could be, teaching younger kids how to develop their own resume, or teaching younger kids how to structure a resume. So you get what I'm saying? People can still have similarities, right, when it comes to gifts, but like my particular gift is not going to be the exact thing, you get what I'm saying, as what yours is, or the exact way. Like, there's how many people got the gift of leadership? Thousands of millions of people, but somebody else is not going to teach leadership the way that I teach. And I'm not going to teach leadership the way that somebody else teaches. You get what I'm saying? So that's the concept when I'm talking about in reference to the resume, just as an example. You can meet up with somebody that has similarities and similar interests, but you're going to do it a different way than somebody else. But you want to network, have that community, and just, you can bounce off ideas, from other people, like-minded people, and things of that sort. But so those are the 5 ways that you are able to turn your God-given gifts into income. So I'm going to recap. So number 1 is going to be to identify what comes to you naturally. Number 2 is going to understand that your gifts are meant to solve problems. Number 3 is to stop overthinking and start developing your gifts. Number 4 is going to be learn how to package your gifts into a business. And then number 5 is going to build from purpose, not just for money. Okay, so all of the links is going to be in the description below. Like I said, I have the business execution framework, which is going to be a total of 9 different skills to help you start your business the right way, because you do have to have skills, right? You have to have leadership skills, you have to have communication skills. You can't start a business and you don't know how to talk to somebody. You have to have time management skills, right? You have to learn how to prioritize your time, right? There's a lot of different other skills that I teach in that framework, like I said, to be structured in your own business. I also have the business checklist. So you can always go to the website. The business checklist is 10 questions, and it's going to literally see, okay, hey, are you aligned with your gifts? Are you aligned with your purpose? Are you aligned when it comes to starting this, business surrounding your purpose? So make sure you check that out. If you hadn't already checked out the Believe Your Vision community, which again is on the school platform, make sure that you do that. I drop different hints, tips, tricks, all that stuff when it comes to purpose, when it comes to business. We're going to start doing lives every other week. And then I'll be dropping just some, daily encouragement and all that good stuff. So if you want to connect with like-minded people, the school platform, Believe Your Vision community is where you want to be. And I'll drop some other, different things down in the description as well. So of course, if y'all have any questions, definitely let me know. I'll see you inside the B.Y.V community. Until next time, see ya.